get in his car and go somewhere. That was, later part of his life, he was all about being on the move. But unfortunately for Fred, his sophistication and suaveness and, ability to navigate life in general didn't extend to his driving ability. One time he had our old Toyota Camry, and he decided he'd always go somewhere different all the time. And he decided he's going to take a drive to Germantown and drive by his old neighborhood. And apparently what happened was, we found out later that while he was in Philly, he must have just drove directly into like a curb with his left front tire. And I think like 2 out of the 3 bolts actually broke on his wheel. So his front wheel was only being held by 2 bolts out of the 5. He drove all the way back from Philly, probably on the Schuylkill or whatever, and that thing must have been, like wobbling like crazy. So we get a call about 8:30 at night. It's pitch black dark, and I think he called Julia. He called Julia because he didn't want to call me up right away. I was like, his pit crew basically, always fixing whatever dents and dings he had. And he called Julia, and Julia called us, and we're like, where's Fred at? And if anybody's familiar, he got off the bypass in Downingtown, right near Norwood Apartments, drove onto Creek Road, and by that time the wheel must have just been like wobbling like crazy or something. And he started driving north on Creek Road towards, right on the rain, like pitch black. And at some point, the wheel fell off completely. And he kept on driving. So like we found out that he was about like maybe, he finally couldn't drive anymore. He ran into a ditch, stopped. So we finally get out there, I drive out there, and the car's like in the middle of it's complete pitch black, dark, nobody's
Weren't
around.
the police there?
There was fortunately there was a guy that pulled over just to protect Fred because it was right around the curve. And he's there he's sitting in the Toyota off the road with 3 wheels, and then I ended up finding the wheel later on, down like 100 feet away. So apparently that wheel just finally completely broke off. They kept driving, and you could see the line in the road from the metal disc that was in the middle of the road. But anyway, we ended up, fortunately nobody got hurt, and we had the car towed back.
And we got him another car.
Actually,
We got him and bought him another
actually
car.
what happened was I ended up buying all the parts for his car, and I actually got that disc was nice and flat. I got a file and filed it off and put the wheel right back on that car, and we driving about 2 days later. So that just goes to show you what a hoot he was driving me. So anyway, yeah, he really loved just getting out and driving. I mean, that was, later on in his life, he just the fact, just for him to get up, get out, and just go somewhere. And that's how he had
The Rev, yeah.
He loved going to.
It was the coffee.
Yep, Quarter Coffee Shop.
Yes, we have a baseball hat that says that.
Well, you know what the other thing was too that we didn't realize there was like an antique, or it was like an art dealer or something near you, or not near you, but I mean in town there was an art dealer.
Yeah, yep.
So.
Yep.
Fred used to talk about that a little bit.
He liked her.
Yeah, the art dealer, he kind of had like a little crush on. But we have so much, had and still have so much artwork in our storage. He used to buy stuff like crazy, pictures, whatever. But anyway, that's it.
That was a good story.
Yeah, good story.
Thanks, Pete.